Most vampire movies promise immortality. The 1980s exposed the truth. These vampires didn't live in castles. They lived next door, in nightclubs, on highways, in your friend group. They didn't hypnotize you with magic. They let you choose wrong. Tonight we're counting down the 5 most terrifying vampires of the 1980s, not based on power, but on how realistically they destroy people. And by the end of this video, you'll understand something unsettling. The scariest vampires of the 80s didn't hunt humans. They let humans walk into the trap themselves. Before we unleash these dark monsters, tell me in the comments which vampire terrified you the most. And if you're enjoying the channel, leave a like and subscribe. There are more dark secrets waiting to be uncovered. At number 5, Katrina from VAMP, 1986. Katrina doesn't seduce you. She doesn't explain herself. She doesn't even speak. She hunts. In VAMP, Katrina rules a nightclub that feels alive, pulsing with sound, sweat, and neon. Music thumps, lights flash, bodies press together, and nobody realizes they're already inside a cage. That's what makes Katrina different from most vampires of the era. She doesn't lure individuals. She creates an environment where escape becomes impossible. What makes Katrina terrifying is her total lack of humanity. There's no tragic backstory, no tortured romance, no regret hiding behind the eyes. She doesn't pretend to be human. She moves like an animal wearing human skin. Fast, brutal, instinctive. There's no negotiation with Katrina, no clever trick, no moment where mercy might exist. Once you're inside her world, the rules you understand no longer apply. She represents a very modern fear, that something ancient and predatory can exist comfortably inside nightlife, entertainment, and excess, feeding while we're distracted, dancing, and convinced we're safe. And by the time the music stops, it's already too late. Next, at number 4, Severin from Near Dark, 1987. Severin isn't elegant, he isn't careful, and he definitely isn't hiding. Severin is what happens after centuries of killing, when immortality has burned away empathy, restraint, and meaning. In Near Dark, he's part of a nomadic vampire family drifting across America's forgotten highways. But Severin stands apart. He doesn't kill to survive. He kills because he's bored. He mocks his victims, laughs while they beg, turns murder into entertainment. There's no system with Severin, no code, no rules about secrecy or survival. Where other vampires adapt, Severin rejects civilization entirely. He represents pure nihilism, immortality rotting into cruelty. A being who has lived so long that human life no longer registers as real. He's not interested in hiding from humanity. He's not interested in ruling it. He just wants to watch it bleed. And that's why Severin is terrifying. Because you can't reason with him. You can't bargain. You can't appeal to anything human. There is nothing left inside him that cares. At number 3, David from The Lost Boys, 1987. David never forces anyone to become a vampire. He dares them. He offers freedom, belonging, rebellion, a way out of boredom, rules, and adult control. He turns vampirism into a peer pressure ritual. That's what makes David so dangerous. He doesn't drag you into the dark. He convinces you the dark is where you belong. David doesn't lie outright. He just never tells you the full cost. He frames immortality as a thrill, a test of courage, a badge of identity. By the time you realize what you've agreed to, you've already crossed the line. Your body changes, your instincts shift, and suddenly the person you used to be feels small and weak. David embodies a very real 80s fear, that youth culture, rebellion, and the search for identity can quietly slide into something predatory. He doesn't need chains. He doesn't need threats. He just smiles and says, "Come on, don't be scared." In second place, we have Regine Dandridge from the sequel to Fright Night in 1988. Regine doesn't attack the body first. She attacks desire. Unlike Jerry, Regine doesn't hide behind respectability. She infiltrates through temptation, intimacy, and humiliation. She studies her victims carefully, what they want, what they're ashamed of, what they secretly wish someone would give them permission to be. Then she uses it against them. Regine doesn't overpower you. She convinces you. She makes you feel chosen, desired, special. What makes Regine terrifying is that consent becomes the weapon. You walk toward her willingly, believing you're in control. And when you realize the truth, it's already too late. Because you didn't just open the door, you invited her in. Regine represents a deeply uncomfortable fear that desire itself can be a trap, and that sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't being forced into darkness, it's wanting it. In first place, we have Jerry Dandridge from Fright Night, 1985. Jerry Dandridge doesn't need darkness. He has respectability. Jerry is the most terrifying vampire of the 1980s because he understands society better than humans do. He knows police won't believe kids, parents won't question normal neighbors, authority protects adulthood. So he feeds openly while hiding legally. Jerry doesn't rush. He isolates his victims socially before killing them physically. He discredits witnesses, manipulates institutions, turns disbelief into a weapon. By the time anyone believes the truth, the damage is already done. What makes Jerry horrifying isn't his strength or age, it's his integration. He doesn't live outside the system, he thrives inside it. Jerry represents the most realistic horror imaginable. Evil protected by normalcy. Predators shielded by systems. Monsters who never need to hide because they already belong. The 80s didn't make vampires scarier. It made them familiar. These monsters didn't lurk in legends. They lived where we lived. They dressed like us. They spoke our language. And that's why they still haunt us. If this list surprised you, wait until you see what the 90s did to vampires. If you want that breakdown next, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy horror that digs beneath the surface, subscribe to Horror Unfold. Because some monsters never stopped evolving